A really good weather presenter is generally somebody who can reach sort of beyond the camera and talk to people in a way so that they feel engaged, communicated to. We have a trick, or I had a trick when I was in TV broadcasting. I used to have a cardboard cutout of the Queen beside the camera because it made me smile. So having a cardboard cutout often helps. You know, the qualities of being a really good weather presenter is good communication. It's authenticity, being authentic, being true and honest, knowing your stuff, and knowing that you can be a little bit nerdy at times. If we give the impression that there's showers outside, you can still go outside. I encourage most Vancouverites to carry an umbrella, no matter what the forecast is. You know, part of having a really good forecast is actually also understanding the impacts of that forecast. So if you hear there's a risk or a chance of showers or thunder showers, it's understanding how that risk might affect you. And a really good forecaster will help you with that. Generally though, unless the weather is expected to be very significant, very severe, dangerous, I tend to tell people to carry on with your outdoor plans, but be prepared. And one of the most important things is listen for updated forecasts, especially if you're going to be going outdoors, beaches, golf, hikes, bikes, that kind of thing. Make sure you have the ability to check a forecast, be it on your phone, have a weather radio with you, but that allows you to hear updated information as it comes out, but go out anyway. Why are scientists reluctant to engage in public communication? We're not very good looking. I think scientists don't naturally communicate well, and I think the subject is, it doesn't lend itself to language and communication very well. So we've got to overcome that barrier. So there is a tendency, a lag to not engage, to not communicate. But as I've been mentioning here at the Congress, one of the most important things we have to do as scientists is to communicate. Because if we don't, the research, the science is not heard about. It almost becomes irrelevant. If you're a lab scientist and you work in a dark room with a closed door, your results sooner or later need to get communicated. And they need to be communicated not only to peers, to fellow scientists, to people possibly funding your science, but the research has to be communicated to the general public. So it's really important to understand how to communicate your science in a way that it's delivered so that everybody can understand it. So it's actually really important to learn to communicate. I definitely believe young scientists are more engaged in communication, and I think it's probably they have grown up with social media more so than my generation, and so they're more used to being in front of a camera, they're more used to taking pictures of themselves, and they're more used to talking on camera. So it seems it's almost like an inherent trait that they have as opposed to a learned attribute. That in itself is actually a really good thing, because if you are going to go into science and you're going to end up on camera, you've got to learn to talk to camera. So I actually think it's a really good thing that the youth, the peers, I consider them peers, but they're younger than me, that are coming up, who are essentially going to be future scientists, learn to talk in front of a camera, and they're comfortable in front of a camera. I was awful when I started. I couldn't breathe. I'm slightly better now. The role of CMOS in science communication is incredibly important. CMOS is us as a collective, not just government scientists or research scientists or public servants. It's us as a group, as a collective, and therefore, in a way, CMOS can transfer and transform borders. There aren't lines between us, we're a group. So we have a collective group and a collective voice. And when we come together, we're stronger by our numbers. So I think CMOS has a hugely important role in helping scientists learn to communicate science, but also being part of the vehicle. You know, the bulletin itself allows us to publish papers, to share information. So it's the group, and the group is strong. It's the ability to publish through the bulletin. And it's also the ability to come together at times like this to share information in a slightly more less rehearsed fashion. So that makes it an incredibly important vehicle, message deliverer, and as I said, as us as a group.